I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
No, check, Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
Throwing on first down, Henson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Barney!
Back to the air on second down. Henson, and that is incomplete here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Watch it now, Barney!
From the gun, Henson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 78 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? But this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Detroit! 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 Here we go!
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Operating from the gun. Henson, he's going to float this one deep right side. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So a pretty early first-quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, Henson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
To throw on 2nd down. Henson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Looking to throw. Henson escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield on play action. Flushed it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. William Hayes in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mayfield off the play fake. Fights him off. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Now, loose football. The ball comes out.
I'm plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. And they're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Operating from the gun, Henson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The good pickup there at 22. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Back to throw. Henson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the gun, Henson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The intended receiver there, Allen.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Stills the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watch it now, Barney!
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They go play action. Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Looking to throw. Henson. He's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Henson. On the left side, this is Stills. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw. Henson eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it? They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Play fake, Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Charles Harris in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out. And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Henson. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Henson. They're able to locate Wilson. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On 1st and 10, Henson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Henson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And some room to work. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 40 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Still fighting for more. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They pitch it to Chubb. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
To go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And an alley to run. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Browns getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So that one will be accepted. Throwing, Mayfield, screenplay, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll rifle this one deep right, and got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. 4th down, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Mayfield on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
Mayfield with it once more. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Mayfield now on 2nd down to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. On play action, they'll throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Higgins. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They go to Johnson again. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
Leopard!
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Second down, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Landry, the intended target. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On second down, it's Drake. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw. Henson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Agba in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Leopard!
4 down, check, 4 down, 4 down.
On 1st down, Drake. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. To throw on 2nd down. Henson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Leopard! Leopard! Over!
Back to throw. Henson. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Back near his goal line. Here's Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Off the bootleg, Henson, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Ray Armstrong in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Back now in Miami. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Gun!
From the gun, Henson. And the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Throwing on third and long. Henson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Parker. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The Dolphins on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Henson. It's caught. Stills. Right side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Over. Gun.
Operating from the gun. Henson. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. That's on the big left tackle. Former number 2 overall pick, Greg Robinson.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. It's brought in by Harris. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They go play action here on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Dolphins Dolphins have got it.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Henson, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again, Henson, and throw right side complete to Parker. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the gun, Henson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing,
Let's go!
not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. The Chiefs have added on. They're pulling away in that one. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. To throw, Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Gun!
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Over the middle to Beckham. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 41 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Here comes Grant on the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now.
On first down, Henson. It's complete. Stills to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Back to throw. Henson, he dumps it off to Dre. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Off play action. Henson. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Looking to throw. Henson. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now Mayfield. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Landry again the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5. Here's Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Mayfield. Going deep here for Landry. He's got him in. Complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A huge play there in overtime. 43 yards. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Odell Beckham Jr. 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well.